Have you ever stood at the edge of love, your heart pounding with both longing and fear, wondering if giving yourself fully might mean losing who you are? Carl Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." In the realm of love, this truth cuts deep. Society sells us a polished story of romance. Find your soulmate, sacrifice your edges, and live happily ever after. But what if the love you're seeking isn't found in another person's arms, but in the uncharted depths of your own soul? This video isn't about chasing fairy tales. It's about dismantling the myths that keep you afraid to love deeply and stepping into a journey of self-discovery, guided by Jung's wisdom. Picture love not as a destination, but as a sacred pilgrimage, a path through the shadows of your psyche, where you uncover the light of your truest self. Let's begin with the shadow, Jung's term for the hidden parts of yourself. The fears, insecurities, and desires you've buried to fit the world's expectations. The shadow isn't just your weaknesses, it's the raw, untamed essence of who you are, locked away because you've been taught it's unworthy. In love, the shadow manifests as the voice that whispers, "You're too much," or "You're not enough." It's the fear that if someone saw the real you, flaws, scars, and all, they'd turn away. Society conditions us to believe love requires perfection. We're told to hide our messiness, to polish our edges, to present a version of ourselves that's lovable. But Jung saw the shadow as a gift. To love deeply, you must first embrace the parts of yourself you've rejected. Imagine your shadow as a forgotten garden, overgrown with weeds but hiding rare, vibrant flowers. To ignore it is to live half a life. To tend to it is to discover the richness of your soul. When you face your shadow, you begin to love from a place of truth, not pretense. The world tells us love is sacrifice, giving up your dreams, softening your voice, or dimming your light to keep someone close. But Jung's concept of individuation, the process of becoming your whole, authentic self, challenges this. Individuation is not about selfishness, it's about integration. It's about weaving together the light and shadow, the masculine and feminine within you, until you stand as a complete being. Jung's archetypes of Anima and Animus. The inner feminine and masculine energies play a pivotal role here. The Anima might be your capacity for tenderness, intuition, or vulnerability. The Animus, your strength, ambition, or clarity. When these energies are unbalanced or ignored, you seek them in others, hoping a partner will complete you. But true love, Jung suggests, happens when you integrate these energies within yourself. You don't need someone to fill your emptiness. You meet them as an equal, whole and radiant. Picture love as a dance between two flames, each burning brightly on its own, yet together creating a warmth that transforms. This is the opposite of sacrifice. It's the freedom to be fully yourself while honoring another's wholeness. Loving deeply requires a journey inward, a descent into the caverns of your heart, where old wounds and hidden truths reside. Jung believed that relationships are mirrors of the unconscious. The people you love, the conflicts you face, they reflect the parts of yourself you've yet to meet. Take the story of Maya, a woman who spent years in relationships that felt like cages. She gave her heart to partners who demanded she shrink, only to feel emptier each time. Through Jung's teachings, Maya began to see her patterns as messages from her unconscious. Her shadow carried a deep fear of being unlovable, rooted in childhood moments of rejection. By facing this fear, she began to integrate her anima, her inner softness and strength, and slowly, she learned to love herself. When she entered her next relationship, It wasn't about needing someone to save her. It was about sharing her fullness. This pilgrimage isn't easy. It's a trek through the deserts of self-doubt, the forests of old pain, and the mountains of fear. But as Jung taught, it's in these depths that you find the treasure of your soul, the capacity to love without losing yourself. Society's vision of love can feel like a script. You're expected to follow, find a partner, settle down, prioritize their needs over your own. But Jung's philosophy is a rebellion against this cage. He saw love as an act of individuation, a sacred process of becoming whole. When you integrate your shadow, you stop projecting your insecurities onto others. When you embrace your anima or animus, you stop seeking someone to complete you. This is where true freedom lies. This kind of love threatens the status quo because it refuses to conform. It says, "I will not shrink to fit your expectations. I will not sacrifice my truth for your comfort." It's a love that flows from abundance, not lack. Imagine a river carving its own path through a mountain, not because it needs to prove itself, but because it's simply being what it was meant to be. That's the love Jung invites you to embody. Jung's concept of the collective unconscious reminds us that love is bigger than you or me. It's a universal force woven into the fabric of humanity's story. Within the collective unconscious lie archetypes, the lover, the healer, the seeker that shape how we experience love. These archetypes carry the weight of countless generations, their longings, their betrayals, their triumphs. When you fear loving deeply, you're not just feeling your own fear, you're tapping into the collective unconscious, where humanity's ancient wounds whisper, but so do its ancient strengths. By connecting with this deeper well of wisdom, you can love in a way that feels timeless, as if you're part of a greater dance. Picture yourself as a thread in a vast tapestry, woven with the stories of those who loved before you. When you love from this place, you're not just loving one person, you're honoring the eternal pulse of connection that binds us all. So, how do you begin first? Meet your shadow. Journal about the parts of yourself you hide in relationships, the fears, the insecurities, the desires you're afraid to voice. Ask yourself, what am I afraid to show? Second, listen to your anima or animus. If you're a woman, how can you nurture your inner strength and clarity? If you're a man, how can you honor your vulnerability and intuition? Third, reflect on your relationships as mirrors. What do they reveal about your unhealed wounds or untapped strengths? Finally, commit to individuation. This might mean setting boundaries, choosing yourself over toxic patterns, or seeking therapy to explore your unconscious. Each step is a lantern, lighting the path to a love that's fearless and free. You don't need to be perfect, you need to be whole. Loving deeply is a courageous act. It's not about finding someone to complete you or conforming to society's scripts. It's about facing your shadow, integrating your inner energies, and stepping into the fullness of who you are. Carl Jung's teachings remind us that true love is a sacred fire, one that burns brightest when you've walked through the darkness of your own soul. So, take a moment to reflect. What fears are holding you back from loving deeply? What truths are waiting to be uncovered within you? The love you seek isn't out there, it's a flame within, waiting to be kindled. Dare to step into your own wilderness, and you'll find a love that doesn't bind you, but sets you free. If this journey resonated with you, share this video with someone who's ready to love deeply and authentically. Let's spread this message of liberation and truth. In the comments, tell us, what does loving deeply mean to you? Like this video, subscribe for more explorations into psychology and self-discovery, and join us as we uncover the beauty of living and loving from your truest self.